I had my resume ready already because something that I work on continuously. So I had sort of the points that I wanted to highlight, the stories that I wanted to tell. I had them in my head, but actually working with Gautam helped me refine that quite a bit. I mean, some of the stories that were totally unnecessary, and he helped me sort of prioritize the things that needed to be brought out. And other thing that he helped me with is, since due to the nature of my work, some of the things that I talk about, some of the things that I write can be quite technical, which means he helped me tone down that technical jargon and explain it in simple terms.
So thank you so much, Rahul, for being
No
part
worries.
of this success story series.
No
So
worries.
before we get started, if you could just give us a little bit background about yourself, what do you do and what has been your experience so far?
Yeah, sure. So I work in product management at MADS. I primarily build applications that act as a knowledge repository for the entire organization. I've been doing this for about 6 years, and before that, I built solutions for the US mortgage market at Cognizant.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you say knowledge repository, is it specific to some specific domain like finance or?
Uh,
Oh,
so MADS as a company is into multiple domains. So it's into payments, insurance, airports, airlines. So I try to sort of make sense of all of these different functionalities that the organization implements, and try to abstract them as applications and provide visibility to the organization, to the internal engineering community, and so on.
Right, right. So, what was the thought process of pursuing something in management? Why did that even come to your mind?
Yeah, so it's something that I've been toying with for quite a while now. So I actually took Crackverbal's GMAT classes back in 2015, I think, and I actually attended Arun's one of those MBA seminars that he takes right over the weekend. And this was, I think, back in 2016. So, and I'd actually given the GMAT, but I didn't apply. I didn't end up applying. And in 2020, I realized, I mean, I've been working for about 8, 9 years by then. And I decided, hey, if I need to, and I'd sort of hit a ceiling. I mean, I've been a product owner, I'd built solutions, but I was not able to actually grow a whole lot more in my role. And I felt that I would need some skills specifically around business, pricing strategies and go to market strategies and understanding business models and so on. So which is what triggered this thing to actually pursue an MBA. And I started looking out for programs, and it was COVID, and online learning was a big thing then. And I got married as well in 2021. So for me, PGP Pro from ISB then was sort of this. It sort of hit the sweet spot, which means it had a mix of online learning. It had case-based studies that you do in person, plus you spend some time on campus as well. So it was sort of a complete package for me, and I get to work full time as well. So I don't need to take a break, and I get to spend time with family. So it felt right, and time felt right as well, since I think next about 18 months of investment in this should be a good deal.
Right. So, going for a full time versus a part time, was that more from a personal level or more from a professional level? Like, what was, how did you
Mm,
actually finalize that? What was your thought process behind that?
sure. So for me, going for a full time was the option till 2021. And after I got married, I think priorities changed quite a bit. I wanted to spend a little bit more time at home. And I realized that during COVID, anyway, if you're enrolled in an MBA program, you're doing it online, you're doing it at home. So it didn't make a difference. I mean, you get the same experience. So doing it part time was absolutely the go-to thing for me.
Right. So, what kind of research did you do to finalize PGP Pro as your next step?
So I attended the sessions that was organized by the admissions committee. I attended 2 sessions. One was a regular information session, and once I decided I had enough information, I started the application, and I attended the application workshop as well. So it sort of gives you a good idea around. It gives you a blueprint of what they're looking for in a candidate who's applying for PGP Pro, and then you get to sort of relate your experiences to what they are looking for, and you actually get to gauge if this school is right for you as well. Because at this point of time, I think that culture fit in terms of a business school is also important. And for me, I'm in product management. If you talk to a lot of folks who are in product management out there, a lot of them come from ISB. So for me, that made sense. I mean, going to ISB for such a program made sense.
Right. So did you get to speak to alums from the PGP Pro program too?
Not from the PGP Pro. I did speak to a few folks from the PGP program. So they had only good things to say. But the only thing is they had graduated a while back. So, but yeah, I mean, they had really good inputs around the program as well.
Yeah. So in fact, I have and so what I've heard about is because of the small cohort, you have a more close connection with the professors, and all the best ones are part of PGP Pro. Also because the kind of cohort that PGP Pro or any of these senior programs have is everybody is with higher experience. So the kind of inputs that you come with, or the kind of perspective you have across industries is a lot different than somebody with 2 years experience or 3 years.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's quite a learning experience, especially at this stage.
Yeah. I mean, the class size is around 50 in Bangalore. So that makes sense. I mean, that was a good thing as well, because it's a smaller classroom. You get to know the people a whole lot more, your fellow classmates a whole lot more. And for me, working in Bangalore, you hear a lot of tech. So it's a lot of the perspective is around tech. So I mean, that was another thing that was a driver, diverse perspectives and people from different backgrounds, say manufacturing, things like that.
Right. So how does this work? You also get to go to the campus and be there for a couple of weeks, right? How is that?
Yeah, so it starts off with 1 week on campus at Mohali in January. And then you have online classes, and then you have every alternate weekends, about once or twice a month, you spend an entire weekend with the class, doing cases and interacting with the professors and so on.
Okay.
And on Saturdays,
every weekend, do you have to go to Mohali, or how does that work?
No, it's just 1 week when you start. You go to Mohali, and then I think midterm you go to Singapore for a week. There's an international immersion as well, and then you end it with 1 week in Hyderabad.
Okay, great. Yeah. So what is on your mind in terms of what do you think this is going to impact more from your career perspective? Are you looking at growing in your own company, or what is on your mind? Like, how have you thought through this whole process?
For me, it's about growing in my own company. Plus, my end goal is to sort of start something on my own. So I think you pick up essential business skills, you pick up the network, you pick up a whole different way of thinking when you do an MBA, right? I think that's what will help me. In fact, one of the panelists during my interview told me that he had sort of one goal when he went into the program, and when he came out of it, it had completely changed, and he wanted to do something on his own. So yeah, that's something that I'm looking forward to.
Right. Yeah. Tell me about the application process. You worked closely with a mentor to apply. How did that work for you? How different or difficult or easy was it for you?
So I had my resume ready already, because something that I work on continuously. So I had sort of the points that I wanted to highlight, the stories that I wanted to tell. I had them in my head. But actually working with Gautam helped me refine that quite a bit. I mean, some of the stories that were totally unnecessary, and he helped me sort of prioritize the things that needed to be brought out. And other thing that he helped me with is, since due to the nature of my work, some of the things that I talk about, some of the things that I write can be quite technical, which means he helped me tone down that technical jargon and explain it in simple terms. So that was quite, he brought out the proper essence of the essay and all of that. So it was good.
Right. And interview, how does that work? Is it like a one-on-one, or is it an online interview? And do you have only alums taking it, or do you have admission committees also being part of it?
So I had two alums. One was from the 2018 PGP Pro, and the other one was from the 2020 PGP Max. So both were in the line of work that I am. Both were in product management, and But they started off saying that this is going to be a very technical interview, but that's not how it was. It was a very nice discussion. They were trying to get to know me and my motivations for doing an MBA and why specifically ISB and so on.
Great. So what next? Till the time you join the course, is there anything specific that you're working on, or any prerequisites that they've asked you to do? How does that work?
Yeah, so I think there is some pre-course work that needs to be done, but I don't have details on that yet. So the admission just came through a few days ago, so
Right.
I'll check it out.
Right, you have time. So
yeah, 6 months is a long time.
Awesome. So congratulations once again, Rahul.
Thank you so much.
Glad you got through what you wanted. I think that's what is most. And I think in our career, it's always a learning process. Anything that you do or you focus on is only going to add to your profile, your skill sets, and what you can do next, right? So all the best.
Thank you so much.
And we will be in touch. Definitely, even after you're done with your course, let's catch up again. I would like to know how things are going to span out for you differently after that.
Sure. Sounds good. You have a great day as well. Thank you for that.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Take care.
Bye.